What's going on, peoples? Welcome to Break Time Sports. It's when I get my break time at work and I talk to y'all. Let me get a zip and we're going to get right into it. Huge NFL day yesterday. Very huge NFL day. Yeah, what's going on, people? Shout out to everybody. Everybody that follow me. Everybody that appreciates my work. Uh, Thank you very much. We're going to start off. We're going to go right to Atlanta, Georgia, where the 5-7 Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the 5-8 Atlanta Falcons 19-16. Steel Curtain did their thing. They were up the majority of the game. Mike Tomlin and company controlled the game. Pickett was doing his thing. Harris, they got Harris off. Harris almost had 100 yards. In a real good game, Atlanta came back late, tried to steal the game late, just like the coach did against the Steelers, and the Steelers prevailed. The thing with the Steelers, the only knock I got with the Steelers is they get in these early leads, but they're taking their foot off the pedal, where they're making it where the other team at least ties them or takes the lead, and then they finish them. And another problem is Mike Tomlin and company have to score more touchdowns. There's too many field goals, and that's not going to cut it. But the Steelers prevailed 19-16 against the Atlanta Falcons. Let me give you some numbers. Pickett 16 for 28, 197, one touchdown. Harris 17 rushes, 86 yards. Freiermuth 3 receptions, 76 yards. Mariota 13 for 27, 167, one touchdown, one pick. Patterson rushed the ball for 11 times 60 yards, and London 6 receptions, 95 yards, as the Pittsburgh Steelers prevail 19-16. Let me try to get this sun out the way. I got like half a sun on me. Yeah, game number 2, we going to Philadelphia as the Eagles are showing the world they're for real. I was trying to tell my son that. He's sleeping on the Eagles. I'm not going to say the Eagles are an 11-1 team, but they definitely a good team. And the Pittsburgh game was -1 Steelers, and of course they cover that. This one, the Eagles were -4.5 against the 7-5 Tennessee Titans. A lot of people took the Titans to cover the spread. I almost did it myself, and my man talked me out of it, and I'm glad he did, because this was like a sucker bet. You got Tennessee, who's like 9-2 in their last 11 road games with points. They cover with points. But the Eagles handle their business. Jalen Hurts had a monster game. I mean, he threw the ball damn near for 400 yards. He's showing the world not only do they have to run the ball with those big trenches they got on the inside, they can also throw the ball. And that's going to mean big come playoff time when teams take away the run, take away Sanders and company, then Hurts is going to have to beat them. And that's exactly what he did as the Eagles prevailed 35-10 at home as they smashed the Tennessee Titans. Let me give you some numbers. Tannehill, 14 for 22, 141, one touchdown, no picks. Tannehill, 3 rushes, 34 yards. Derrick Henry was stopped, 11 rushes, 30 yards. Wow. And then you got Okandu, 4 receptions, 68 yards. I don't really know how to pronounce his name. It's an African name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Jalen Hurts, 29 for 39, 383, touchdown, no picks. Sanders, 10 rushes, 24 yards, 1 touchdown. They took away the running game. The Titans, that's what they do. And, of course, Brown, big game, ex-Titans, wanted to make a statement. 8 receptions, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. And after the game, he said he was on a team that he wanted to stay on, and they didn't want to deal with him no more, and they got rid of him. That's why it was personal for him, and Brown handled his business, and the Eagles prevailed. Let me check this real quick. Okay, the third game of the day, we're going to Cincinnati as the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals played a real good game. Bengals beat them again 27-24 for the third straight time. The line was -2.5 Chiefs. Chiefs have been favored in every game and lost all 3 games. And great game, back and forth. Mahomes was the old Mahomes. He had an average game. Joe Burrow is right now showing the world that he's everything made out of in LSU. Joe Burrow got the best touch. Joe Burrow can run. Joe Burrow can throw the lace. Joe Burrow does it all. The only thing about Joe Burrow you have to worry about is injuries. He's got all the weapons and he's utilizing all his weapons. Unlike Trevor Lawrence, who's not everything that he's about to be. Sunshine is not. Sunshine is like the bus or the Bizarro, and Burrow's the Superman, the guy that's making it happen. You got two guys that were ranked extremely high, number one quarterbacks, and one is not stepping up and the other one's doing terrific. Salute to Joe Burrow. Let me give you some numbers. Patrick Mahomes, 16 for 27. 233, one touchdown for Mahomes. That's unlike him. Pacheco, 14 rushes, 66 yards, one touchdown. This guy runs real hard. And Valdez Scantling, 3 for 71. Cincinnati Bengals, Burrow, 25 for 31, 286, two touchdowns, no picks, and an important zipper. He threw right at the end of the game to move the chains to lock the win for the Cincinnati Bengals. And Perrine, 21 rushes, 106 yards. Jamar Chase, 7 for 97. The Cincinnati Bengals are making a late surge. The Chiefs and the Bills better stay woke because these guys is coming again like they did last year. Let me go to my fourth game before I punch out on this thing right here. The New York Football Jets, the Minnesota Vikings. The line was -3 for Minnesota. 7-5 Jets, 10-2 Vikings. The Vikings prevailed 27-22 in a game that the Jets were down the whole game and had multiple opportunities to steal the game late, and they couldn't. The Vikings hold them. Let me give you some numbers on this game. You had White, 31 for 57, 369, no touchdowns. That's what killed White. He couldn't get the ball in the end zone. He had Berrios late. Berrios dropped it on 4th down. That was not his fault, but a lot of other throws were badly thrown by White. But even though he did a good job, he got numbers, but he didn't prevail when they needed him to, and that's what he got to work on. Running back Knight, 15 for 90 yards. I don't know where the Jets continue to get these running backs from, from Carter to Hall. Now Knight, they are stacked up at the running back. As you've seen, their third back is putting up numbers. And Wilson, 8 receptions, 162. For the Vikings, Kirk Cousins, 21 for 35. 173, one touchdown, no picks. Cook, 20 rushes, 86 yards, one touchdown. And one of the best receivers in the game, Justin Jefferson, 7 for 45, one touchdown as the Minnesota Vikings prevail 27-22. And now they are 10-2 in second place behind the Eagles. Let me get one minute. Okay, I got one more before I can turn that off. We're going to Big D, my Dallas Cowboys. 4-8 Indianapolis Colts, 9-3 Cowboys. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you're going to talk about that game. It was a blowout. It actually wasn't a blowout. There was a time in the game in the third quarter where the Dallas Cowboys were up 21-19. Colts went for a 2-point conversion to tie the game. Colts were up early, scored the first touchdown. Colts got out early. Jeff Saturday and company tried to dictate the game, but Dallas got too much talent, too much speed, too much hunger, and they scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. Outscored the Colts 33, I think, to zip. And the most points scored in years in the fourth quarter. Might be the all-time record for fourth quarter points. I got to do my homework as the Cowboys prevail 54-19 as they demolished the Indianapolis Colts, Colts. And like I said, in a game that the Colts played a little early, played them good for a half, but then the Cowboys ran away with it. Let me give you some numbers, then I got to punch out on this thing right here real quick. You know why? We're going to bypass the numbers and let me punch out, then I'm going to go to the next game. Okay, here we go. Okay, game number 6. 6-6. Los Angeles Chargers versus the 5-7 Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders is playing ball right now. I told y'all after Derek Carr cried that they were going to get bounces to go their way. I wasn't bullshitting to y'all. They rolled off them 3 straight games already. The Raiders are trying to get a playoff spot. I seen it yesterday, the way they handle their business, and I never seen their pass rush look so good. Now, I understand Chargers had a couple of guys hurt, but even at that, they still managed to protect Herbert. They was all over Herbert, even though Herbert still had his way beside throwing touchdowns, but he did everything else as the Raiders defeated the Chargers 27-20 in a tremendous game where the Raiders were down, came back, and handled their business, and the big 3 came through. Let me give you some numbers. Herbert, 28 for 47, 335, 1 touchdown. I needed 2. I had him over 1.5 in a small bet, but I needed that bet. I wanted everything to come in. He averages 2 touchdowns, 2.5 touchdowns in the last 8 games against the Raiders, and just gave me 1. It's all good. Alyork, 10 rushes, 32 yards. And Keenan Allen, 6 receptions, 88 yards, 1 touchdown, and an incredible touchdown grab in the fourth quarter for Keenan Allen, who's a stud. And for the Las Vegas Raiders, Carr, 16 for 30, 250, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Jacobs, 25 rushes, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. This Josh Jacobs better be your MVP candidate, because this young boy is stepping up week after week, and he's injured. So you got to throw that in there. Not only is he injured, he's stepping up. And last but not least, Devontae Adams, top 5, top 3 for me, wide receiver in the league. 8 receptions, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 incredible catches he made yesterday as the Las Vegas Raiders defeated the Chargers 27-20 in the Legion Field, and the Raiders are back. Raiders! Raiders! I got to check that for my Raider fans. And the New York Football Giants were tied with the Commanders 2020 in a game that I picked the Giants to win, but it don't matter. I had plus 2.5. They covered the spread, but I wanted the Giants to win. I mean, they missed that field goal there late, and they gave up that last touchdown they should have never gave up. So they put that upon themselves not to win the game, but at least they covered the spread, and I know everybody's good with that. This is Alyork Sports, Break Time Sports. Love y'all. Y'all stay up. Keep doing your thing. I'll be back Friday for that madness. You already know. Alyork Sports, the raw truth.